lovelies, and today I wanted to talk to you about fake up and fake Velvetines in particular. So I did run across people doing videos showing you the fake up or fake makeup that they have been buying off places like AliExpress and eBay, full well knowing that they're fake, to test them out for you so you can see the colours and the way they dry. And quite honestly, I was horrified on watching these videos. I just clicked off the video because it made me feel ill. Now there's a reason I'm horrified, and that's because fake up is not made with any concern for the customer in mind at all. The people who make this kind of stuff make it in disgusting conditions. They make it, they're usually made by organised crime gangs. Your money, when you buy this stuff, goes to people who terrorists and organised crime gangs, and none of that is good. No, you are not paying anything forward other than pain to other people. I'm going to insert a couple of pictures here of a factory that was found in China making this fake makeup, and as you can see, the conditions are absolutely disgusting. But it's not only that they're made in unsanitary conditions. A lot of the people that is making this fake makeup are not being paid. A lot of this will be slave labour. A lot of people will be forced into this because, again, it's generally run by organised crime. These are not honest businesses at all. So you are giving money to criminals who, if you know anything about real organised crime, and I'm not talking the stylized stuff you see on the TV in the US, I'm talking about the real shit that destroys people's lives, you are giving them money to enable them to do that. And I don't want anything to do with that. I do think it's absolutely horrible. Now, on top of the fact that you are giving money to people who have no regard for human life, who have no regard for you as the customer, the stuff that they find in these things is absolutely gross. It's that you will not only find that the ingredients on the box, that's not what's in it. They don't care. They're just copying the boxes from these companies that they are faking. So what you've got on the box is not actually what you're putting on your lips. But they've found cyanide, they've found human excrement, rat droppings, urine, you name it, it's in the bottle. They don't care about quality of formula. They don't give a shit what goes into it because they don't give a shit about you. They want your money, and you are buying it off them. You might not be buying them off it, but these people that are doing these fake up videos, yeah, you're not paying forward good things to anyone. You're supporting organised crime. That is my stance on it. If you want to do that, so yeah. If I were you, I would avoid fake makeup because not only is it paying forward pain to other people, you are also putting stuff on your lips that is very, very dangerous. So, having said all that, I've managed to get my hands on a couple. A friend of mine bought some Velvetines. They turned out to be fake. I knew when I looked at them that they were fake, so I thought I would show you these fake Velvetines and compare them to the real thing. The fake Velvetines are going nowhere near my lips, so they will be swatched on the back of my hand. That's it. Even putting them on the back of my hand, I might get an allergic reaction off some of the stuff that's in these things, but that's the closest. It's not going anywhere near my lips. And you know why? Because I've just told you. Now, before I show you the fake Velvetines, let me tell you some of the things that I have heard about how to spot fake Velvetines. And there's a couple of things that people have said on the videos where they've had fakes and they didn't realise they were getting fakes, and these are the things to spot. One of the things is separation of the liquids, and that's not true because some of my Velvetines that were bought from the Lime Crime website have separated. I had a cashmere that didn't dry down properly and separated really, really quickly. And I'm talking within minutes of it being stood, you could see a clear layer of liquid settling. And this was a real Velveteen bought from Lime Crime's website. So separation of liquid is not necessarily a sign of a fake product. It just means it's separating. In the case of that cashmere, it probably was a faulty batch. And I have to say, most of them don't settle unless they are left alone for a relatively long time. So no, settling a product is not necessarily the sign of a fake. The other thing that I have heard is that if you are missing the flower on the top, or you have a flower on the top, that it's a fake velveteen. This again is also not a sign of a fake velveteen, because I have lots of them, and I will show you that all of these ones that I bought off the Lime Crime website, the design is slightly different. So I no longer have the original Velvetines, the very original bottles, which had an embossed unicorn on the top of the Velvetines. So I can't show you those, but these are 3 different Velvetines that I have bought off the Lime Crime website at some point, and they've got 3 different tops, as you can see here. This is the oldest one. It's got the double unicorn on the top that they were using at some point. It's also got the really old writing on it. This is a genuine Velveteen. It's got a unicorn on the top. So if you've got one of these, it's just old. That's not, well, it might be old, but it's definitely not a definite sign that it's a fake. So let's move to the next 2. This one is bleached, and this one has the flower on the top, and it also has the new font that they're currently using. Whereas the one next to it, this one is Riot, which has been more recently bought. It doesn't have the flower on the top and does have the curly writing. So these are both genuine, again, both bought off the Lime Crime website. So the absence or having a flower, or even having that double-headed unicorn, doesn't necessarily make them fake. Now, having said that, I am going to show you the 2 that I've got that are fake. And one of them is fairly obvious from looking at the box, one of them is not. So I'm going to show you the 2 Velvetines that I've got that are the fakes. So these are the boxes for the Velvetines. At first glance, they look pretty genuine. The actual writing on these is pretty much exactly, they've copied the box exactly from Lime Crime, and even on the back it looks really, really good. The Jinx one looks fairly good as well, but it's fairly obvious that Polly is not real because it doesn't actually say Polly, it says P-I-I-Y. So obviously any kind of writing that you see that's misspelled is a good indication it's fake. Even Polly is spelled incorrectly on the barcode. So let's get the fake Polly box next to the real Polly box, and these are the 2 real ones, and as you can see side by side they're pretty much identical. Now don't worry about the fact that the writing on this one is thicker, because I'll show you the Jinx box in a minute. So side by side they're pretty much exactly the same. The colour, the reflection, it's all pretty good. But as you can see, the real one has a completely different coloured label, and Polly is spelt correctly. Same on the top, the typeface is completely and utterly different, and Polly is actually spelt correctly on the real one, whereas the fake one isn't. So why I said not to worry about the writing on the Jinx on the front is because the typeface has changed. Lime Crime does change their typeface quite a lot when it comes to boxes and bits of information. You can see on the top though, the Jinx label, Jinx is much bolder on the real one than it is on the fake one, but if you don't have them in person you wouldn't be able to tell that. The backs themselves, as far as those go, that's pretty good. There is one other thing that the fakes boxes don't have that the real boxes do have, and that's a production date. I have to say Lime Crime at some point wasn't putting that on their boxes, but they are now. It is a legal requirement, so you should always have a production date on the box, or a production code on the box. So side by side, this is the 2 Pollys, and one of these is real and one of these is fake. Now looking at them just like this, ignoring the colour difference, they look pretty good. You just think I've got 2 different coloured Velvetines here. Pretty much the production values on the lids of the fake is really, really good. It matches up really well, and the colour is so close that if you didn't have them together you pretty much wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And this is where you see this one's got the flower and this one doesn't, which is where people are thinking that that's the sign of a fake, which, like I showed you earlier, it's not. The biggest sign of a fake is looking at the bottom. So let's put the writing the right way up and show you the bottom. So on the bottom you've got the real Polly and you've got the fake Polly. The bottom one of the Polly doesn't say Polly for starters, but there is all this other writing around the outside of Polly. on this side. So it tells you where it was produced, it tells you it's vegan. It's also again got the production code on it. So that's one of the biggest indications that you've got a fake one if it's just got the name. Now, as you can see, they are completely different colour in the bottles. So let's swatch these. So let's start with fake poly. This is fake poly. Let's see what colour this comes out. And it is really, really orange. That's not the colour that poly is supposed to be. If you ordered that thinking you were going to get the colour that poly is on the website, you would be highly disappointed. That's definitely 100% fake. Terrible colour. It's not anywhere near the colour of poly. This one smells like chocolate as well. Lime crime doesn't smell like chocolate. It smells more like, it smells like vanilla, the real stuff. So smell also is a good indication. This smells like chocolate, not vanilla. Real poly. Let's swatch that next to this one. This tends to happen a lot with the lime crime ones. They tend to be really dirty when you pull them out, whereas the fake one wasn't. And that is the colour of real poly next to the fake. I mean, look at that. It is so much nicer. Let's do the same with the two fetish fake. No, it's not Jinx. Let's do the same with the two Jinx, the fake and the real. So starting off with the fake one. This is the fake one. As you can see, no writing on the bottom other than the word Jinx. And it is this funny coloured purple. Barely anything on the wand. Wipe it on here. It's quite patchy, this one actually. I'm letting the others dry down while we do this, so I'm going to put a little bit more on. But that's the colour Jinx looks in on the back of my hand. And that is the fake swatch. And then next up we've got the real one with all the writing on that tells you when it was produced, that tells you how much is in it, that it was done by Lime Crime and that it's vegan. The actual product code for this one is on the bottom of the bottle itself. So let's get that one open. Again, product is all over the wand. And this is much more liquidy texture. That was kind of greasy, the other one. And again, it's a completely different colour to the fake. The fake is nothing like the colour that Jinx should be. That's more like Beat It, to be honest. But that's the colour that Jinx should be. That's the colour that poly should be. And that's what the fakes look like. Now, because they are liquidy, the Lime Crime ones take a little while to dry, especially when you've got a lot of liquid in a small space. So my lovelies, that was how to tell the difference between fake Velvetines and real Velvetines. I hope this was a little bit informative, and I do hope it put you off buying the fake stuff, even though it is really cheap, because you're not getting a bargain at all by any means. You know what to do, my lovelies. I hope you're having a wonderful day. TTFN.
Back from the dead. We'll be right back.